Hey girls, Mrs. Forbes here, and we are almost done with this module mission 6, having to do with decimals. We are at lesson 15, and this is for May 13th, 2020. Our I can statement, I can express money amounts, who doesn't love money? I can express money amounts given in various forms as decimal numbers. Now, this is really important because you really need to know how to count money. So if your parent or whoever, grandmother, aunt, uncle is listening as you are doing this, give them an idea. If they have a cup or a jar of change, ask them if you can count it. Just start with a small handful and count up the money. They can check it for you. You'll actually probably find it a lot of fun. So here we are at our ever-loving dollar. This is a $1 bill. A $1 bill is worth 100 cents. If we're going to write it with a decimal, however, it's 1.00. And what I want you to notice is if you use the cents sign, it's like a C, it goes after the value with no decimal point. If you use the dollar sign, it goes before the value and we represent it with a decimal point. So if you look at here, $1 is equal to 100 cents, which the fraction would be 100 100/100ths. That's a tongue twister. And we know that 100/100ths is equal to 1 whole. And that's what we have here, 1 whole dollar. Now we know along with our dollar, we have change. We have our penny, which is worth 1 cent. And if I were going to write that as a decimal, it's 0.01. I have my dime, which is worth 10 cents, and my decimal, it would be 0.10. I have a quarter, which is worth 25 cents, and my decimal would be 0.25. So if I go back and think about my 1 cents again, 1 cent is equal to 0.01. A penny is 1/100th of a dollar because there's 100 pennies in a dollar. If I go to my dime, my 10 cents, which is 0.10, that's 10 hundredths. It's 10 cents out of 100 cents. However, because 10 dimes can make a dollar, it's also equal to saying 1/10 of a dollar. So either 10 hundredths, because the value is 10 cents, or 1/10, because it would be 1 dime out of 10 dimes that make the dollar. And last is my quarter. And I have my 25 cents, 0.25, which is equal to 25 hundredths, because it's worth 25 cents out of the 100 cents in a dollar. So now let's move to our whiteboard and do some actual examples of counting money. All right, so let's do some examples where we're actually counting coins. And I really do suggest that you ask somebody if they have a jar of change, like I have a jar of change. And you can just take, like I said, start out with a small handful, put it on the table, sort the coins. All right, here's quarters, here's dimes, here's pennies. There might be some nickels in there. Nickels are worth 5, remember. And count the money. That's a life skill. So that's pretty important. So let's look at our first one. We have 4 dimes and 7 pennies. Well, let's remember what a dime is worth. A dime is worth 10 cents. So to help me out, That marker's not working very well. Let's switch. It's 4 times 10, so that's 40 cents plus another 7 is 47 cents. However, I want to write it as my decimal, which is basically writing it as like 47 hundredths. If I didn't have the dollar sign there, that's how I would read it. But it's because that's the part of the dollar we have. We have 47 cents out of the whole dollar. So $0 and 47 cents. Next example, I have 6 dimes. Now, you can probably do a lot of this in your head, but in case you get to one that's a little bit trickier, that's why I'm writing them all out. So my 6 dimes would be 60 cents, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Plus another 17 pennies. That's going to give me 77 cents. However, I want to write it as part of a dollar, which would be $0 and 77 cents, 0.77. Why? Because I have 77 cents out of the whole dollar, 77 hundredths. The next one I have quarters. Quarters are a little bit trickier to count by because you have to count by 25s, and we don't count by 25s very often. But I like to do, it's almost kind of like a little cheer. 25, 50, 75, $1. Counting quarters, go ahead, holla. I know, it's lame. I know. But if you get that in your head, 25, 50, 75, $1. So I have 3 quarters, which would be 3 times 25. 25, 50, 75. That's 75 cents so far. Plus, I also have 4 dimes. That's another 40 cents. And then I have my 2 pennies. So you might have to do the addition at the side, but I know that, and if you have to, do it. Line it up and do the addition. I know that 75 plus 40 is 115, plus another 2 is 117. So that means I would have 117 cents. Well, that means I know that 100 cents is $1. So I have $1. Oh, goodness. Let me get the llama butt out of the way. I know that 117 cents is $1.17, 1.17. So you are going to continue with your problem set. You're going to take a picture of it and you are going to send it to me. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.